Hello and welcome to my channel. If you saw a few videos ago, I had an issue where I was mowing and the reel caught some grass, some very heavy grass. It pulled it over the push bar, completely smashed my push bar in, and my mower was toast for the day. I've got that fixed, and this is just a short video to show you what the fix was. So I took the mower to a buddy of mine who's an excellent fabricator and welder who can weld much heavier stuff than I can. And what he did was he fabricated a push bar made out of the square tubing that was the same diameter as the round stuff, except it's a much heavier wall. You can see how thick that is. These brackets right here were pretty toasted and bent out of shape on both sides, and he was able to get those straightened out and of course drilled out so we can put the bolts back in there. And then this one over here was even more messed up, although he did some heating and got it nice and straightened out. So that's really good too. One modification I made to the push bar was, because New Holland actually has an extension you can get to make them a little taller or higher for taller grass. So I had them make the push bar 4 inches taller than the original one. The original one would go out to about here, and mine goes a little taller. The difference this has between mine is the original push bar comes out and it bends a little bit right here. This one just goes straight up. I don't think that is going to be a huge deal because there's still plenty of space between the tines and the push bar itself. Now you can see the push bar does have a slight natural sag to it, as he says, to the metal itself, but that should be okay. And then he's got gussets welded on in the corners here. As you can see, he's a very good welder. And then the only thing that he did wrong was he put this crop separator on top, and it needs to be parallel with the top of this. As you can see, it's pointing straight up in the air instead of forward. It needs to be pointing about forward like this. So I'm gonna have to take this off and drill some holes right here and kind of tilt this down a bit. So I'm gonna go ahead and drop this down so you can see what it looks like all the way down. All the way down, you can see the front push bar does go up a little higher than the original one would. I think the original one would probably come out to about here, and so this one's got some height on it. You can see how the crop separator now totally is at the wrong angle. With the grass as tall as it is, it will probably still work like that, but it really does need to be pointing straight forward instead of up like that. So I'll have to fix that. But pretty straightforward repair. The other thing I forgot to show you is you can see right along here where the reel was scraping on the inside of the shield. That's because well, and down there too. That's because what happened was when this bar bent down and pushed in, it sucked the inside of this in like that and actually pulled the entire side of the Haybine in against the reel. And when I would turn the reel, these bolts here would almost scrape on the side, but now they don't. You can see there's plenty of space between each bolt head and the side because he had to straighten that out too. So what he did was at least this is what he told me he was gonna do. I don't know if that's what he actually ended up doing, but he took a loader to a very large front end loader and put it on this part right here. And then he came around, lifted this shield up under there and put something on the other side, another loader or something to hold that. And then he took the loader and just pushed it against there until this did not want to move anymore, and he got that straightened back out. So there it is. I haven't mowed with it yet. The grass is tall. It's a tall year. It's been tall for everybody. But I'm hoping it'll do a lot better And for you guys out there mowing all this really tall grass with your haybines, you got to keep an eye on that, because what happened with mine, if you didn't see the first video, grass came over the push bar, got caught by the reel, and you just grab a handful of that grass that's strong, the reel start pulling the grass down, pull it down on top of the push bar, and just bent that push bar like it was a wet noodle. Well, I did a little bit of modification and got that crop separator to angle down. I wanted it to point out a little more straight, but it's kind of hard with the angle of this square tubing to do that, but that'll still separate the hay much better than when that bar is pointing straight up. Now I just got to get this primed and painted New Holland red, and it'll look like it was made to be there. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you next time.